Greetings, everyone. This is Payment Learners, your host, your friend, your coach. Today, we're kicking off day 3 of the 5-day profitable podcast launch challenge for the month of November 2025. This is the class for the US, Canada. And today, we're getting into the thick of things because today is going to be a very powerful one, a pivotal one, because we're going to be literally crafting your iTicket offer. So, right. Do you see my screen?
Yes.
All right. So as I said in the beginning, everything builds from the previous day. So yesterday we talked about identifying a zone of genius because that's going to be the central point of everything we're going to be doing. Because today we're going to be taking your zone of genius, your findings from yesterday, and then we're going to be crafting your irresistible Godfather offer. And we're going to be looking at what is that one specific pain point that you're going to address and solve to everything you're doing, to your offer, your podcast, your messaging, your marketing, your business, and everything. And I'm going to also, toward the end, introduce a very key element, something is absolutely indispensable, non-negotiable of any successful business, and that is that your offer, your business must have a quantifiable, measurable end result. If you don't have that, you don't have a business. So let's get going. We already covered questions. All right. Do you have any questions from yesterday? All right. So when it comes to selecting a niche or what should you base your business around, it's not rocket science. There's no guesswork required here. It's literally about your skills, your talents, expertise, experiences, wisdom, and gifts. Ultimately, it's about your zone of genius. Because your zone of genius is what's going to determine in a very direct way what is that one very specific pain point that you can solve and for that one very specific person. That's all. That's the name of the game. Clarity, clarity, clarity. One pain point, one person. And that's what we're going to be doing. Because again, the number one reason most entrepreneurs online fail is because they lack clarity. They want to help everyone with all of issues. And we all know that helping everyone with all of issues, that's something that's a recipe for disaster because your message is not going to land with no one. It's not going to resonate with anyone. And you're going to ultimately end up wondering what's going on. So here's a very telling and powerful test. Imagine you're sitting at a dining table and the person next to you just leans over to you and say, "Hey, Lorna, Janaki, Rosemary, Angela, Eleonora, and so on and so forth. Sandra, what do you do?" That typical question. Now, if you start your answer with, "Well, it's kind of complicated," or "Let me tell you a story," or "This is how it happened," then stop. Because that's not the way to go. And if you ought to start that way, you don't have a business. As simple as that. You want to be able to answer this question in such a clear, concise, straightforward way that the person knows exactly what you're doing and so that the person doesn't need to drill you about further questioning or clarification. That's the ultimate goal. And that's what we're going to be working on to achieve today. Because again, if you cannot answer that simple question, so what do you do? In such a way that the person knows exactly what you're doing and the only question left in their mind is, "Wow, that's amazing. What's the next step? How can you help me?" If you cannot answer that question in that way, then I'm sorry, you do not have a business. Does that make sense? All right. Because again, clarity is the name of the game. The more clarity you have, the more magnetic your message will be, the more compelling your offer will be, and ultimately, the more transformational your program is going to be and resulting in your business being more and more profitable. Simple as that. And inversely, there's a very real and expensive cost to a lack of clarity. Speaking of that, Lorna, how much is not having clarity in your offer costing you in your business each month? How much per transaction is that costing you? How much more can you charge if you did have that laser focused clarity in your offer?
I would say thousands, tens of thousands even.
Absolutely. So that's the real life cost of not having clarity. And we're going to tackle that. Here's a very, very, very powerful principle that we all need to always remember and even tattoo to our forehead and to our soul, because that is the central point of everything. Your client has to care about the problem before they can care about the solution, you and your offer. Let me repeat that. Your client has to care about the problem before they can care about the solution, you and your offer. What does that mean? What that means is that our number one task as a coach, as a mentor, as a guide, as an activator, as a big brother, big sister, our two main tasks. Number one is to educate, 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 because we all have issues and problems we're not aware of. We need to educate them as to what is the problem that they're facing, why it's here in the first place, what would happen if they don't fix it immediately. That's the first step, because one of the reasons most people fail is because as soon as they say, hi, nice to meet you, they start going into pitch mode right away. And that's what's really putting people off. Instead, what you want to do is to really have a heart-to-heart conversation, to really get to know them, understand them, to build that trust so they can really open up to you. But most importantly, when they open up to you, that's when you can really understand what is a problem, and you can really educate them about the problem. Here's a problem, why it's here, what's going to happen if you don't take any immediate action to fix it. Because when you are the person that's not going to go straight up into pitch mode, but instead going to really tell them, educate them, what is a problem, once you fully realize the gravity of the problem they're facing, guess what? Not only will be building beautiful trust with them, but also you will become in their mind the go-to person. The next question in their mind is going to be, wow, I didn't know it was that bad. So tell me, Lorna, how do we fix this? Can you help me? This is the proper logical way that you want to basically get them to come to that point, that conclusion, by making them fully understand what is the problem, why it's in the first place, and what's going to happen if we don't fix it. Because again, before we can even forget about pitching, before we can even talk about our business and what we do, we need to earn the right to talk to them about that. And we earn the right by building trust, rapport, and really helping them understand how serious the problem is. And by doing so, not only you're building trust, but also you're displaying your expertise. And once you do that, they will naturally come to that conclusion. Hey, how do I fix this? Can you help me? Because you're becoming in their mind, by default, their expert, their authority, the leader, and the go-to person to help them solve that, because you were the one that made them become aware of how, how serious the problem was. Does that make sense? Does that make sense?
Yes. Yeah.
This is very important. This is a central point of everything, because again, your number one task is to educate, educate, educate. And once we've educated them enough and we've earned the right to help them solve the problem, the next step is for us to make them believe, understand, realize, and see that they can do it. Because the ultimate question we all have in our mind is, can I do it? Is this going to work for me? That's the ultimate question. If you can answer those two questions, you can help them with those two things, there's no selling required. It's going to be automatic. They will ask you, hey, what's the next step? How can we fix? How can we start? This is very powerful. Does it make sense, Lorna?
It does. That really, I would say in some ways it really simplifies it. I like the aspect of the educating them, that sometimes they may be aware of different symptoms, but to actually bring it back into one part, a main key that helps them to see, oh, that's what makes sense. That's why. So it's, yeah.
Exactly. Janaki, welcome. Thank you for joining us.
You're welcome. Thought it was at 7, so
Well, I
my
have
time.
flight, so that's why it's going to be early. It was early.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Anyway, so again, this is very important, because again, I want you guys to really memorize this, because this is very important. Your client has to care about the problem before they can care about the solution, you and your offer. Until they don't, they will not give a damn about you and your offer. They will not even be receptive to it. They won't, as soon as you mention your offer, before you have made them understand what is a problem, they will shut you down right away. But once you really take the time to really educate them, they will naturally come to the conclusion, wow, I didn't know it was that bad. How do I fix this? Can you help me? And that's when you say, yes, absolutely. And this is how we do it. That's when you introduce your solution, you offer. And again, we educate our audience on 4 things. What is a specific problem? The main reason why the problem exists in the first place, the consequence of the problem, and the ultimate negative outcome as a result of inaction. You need to really, really, really emphasize on that, because that's what's going to really take them to, wow, I didn't know it was that bad. How do I fix that? That's when they will start to really care about and be open and receptive to what you have to say and offer. Let's see. Once we've achieved that first piece of the puzzle, which is to make them educate about the problem, the next step is for you to make them believe, see, realize that they can do it. That's the ultimate piece of the puzzle, because that's the last one, because that's a main question we all have whenever we're looking at something new is, can I do it? Is this going to work for me? All clear so far? Taking notes, Lorna? I recommend you pay attention, because you will get the replay and the slides after, so you can really participate at the same time.
I'm taking lots of notes.
Yes, that's good. That's good. But so again, number 1 task is to educate. Number 2 task, once we've done that, is to make them believe, see, understand, realize that they can do it. And to achieve that, give them a taste of a small win, no matter how small, as soon as possible. As soon as possible, so they can see, wow, this actually works for me, despite my busy schedule and despite all my self-created mental blocks or limiting beliefs. You need to help them see that they can do it. So, for example, let's say you're working on helping someone become a better in business. Instead of saying, hey, I'm going to get you to 6-figure in 1 minute, show them, hey, how to get that first paying client in the first 30 days. Because once they've seen that, even the first lead, then all they have to do is just replicate the steps to get client number 2, number 3, number 4, and so on and so forth. Give them a taste of a win, no matter how small, as soon as possible. This is very, very, very important. Does that make sense? All right, let's move forward. So now let's create your irresistible Godfather offer. An irresistible Godfather offer is an offer that when you see it, you will feel compelled to say yes to it. In the words of Alex Hormozy, it's an offer that people would feel stupid saying no to. That's what an irresistible Godfather offer is. And the key to a Godfather offer are, again, no surprise. It's all about clarity, 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 clarity. What is that one specific pain point you're solving and addressing through your business, your offer, your marketing, your program, your podcast, YouTube channel, and so on and so forth? For who specifically? One specific person, not people. One specific person. And another big one is the time frame. How long is it going to get them for them to achieve that desired outcome? This is very important. They want to know what pain point, for who, doing what, and how long. These are non-negotiable factors that you must incorporate, 1 second, in your offer. So this is very important, guys. We need to have all of those in your offer. One specific pain point, for who specifically, and how long. So the pain point is again, I've been mentioning that since the beginning. That's very obvious. What is it exactly that you're helping? What pain point, what problem are you solving? We can do an entire program just on identifying what is the problem you're solving, because a lot of people still are struggling with identifying what is that main pain point they are solving. So in a nutshell, in 1 sentence, Lorna, what is a problem that you're solving in your program?
women who don't feel that they are authentically able to express themselves sexually.
Okay. Janaki?
Mine's around expression as well, being more so with feeling you're in the box of shame and liberating yourself from the shame paradigm
Okay.
of the right, wrong, good, bad, not enough, too much, broken.
Okay, thank you. So again, you need to be very specific, very clear, not vague as to what is the problem you're solving, essentially. One specific pain point. And for who specifically, again, the more specific you are, the more magnetic your messaging will be. And it's all based on one thing and one thing only, your zone of genius. Now, your avatar is, again, as I mentioned before, especially yesterday, your avatar is no one else than yourself. Build your program, build your offer, your messaging, everything you do the way you wished existed when you were starting or when you were at your lowest, no matter how long ago it was. Because again, when someone is looking to invest good amount of money on a coach, they want someone that has walked in their shoes, someone that successfully overcame what they're currently going through. And the best person you can help is yourself, even more so the version of you of just a few steps back. So again, that's very important because once you do that, then your message is gonna land directly into the heart and soul. That's very, very, very important. That's the person that you can help at the highest level. Because again, your avatar is you. Build your business, build your offer, build everything the way you wished existed. What did you wish was there when you were at your lowest, when you were starting? Who did you wish was there? That's the ultimate question. And just build everything for that version of you. You do that, you're golden. As I mentioned before, the key elements of a successful, irresistible Godfather offer are having a quantifiable, measurable end result. Specifically, what is it you're offering, for who, doing what, and how long it's going to take them to reach that desired outcome. These are absolutely non-negotiable. If your offer doesn't have that, you don't have a business. Does your offer have those? Let's hear your offer in one sentence, Lorna. Tell me
In this
what.
offer, basically, if it's
So
for
tell us.
me, it would,
A better question would be: tell us
Yeah.
what is it for? Say what are you offering, for who, doing what, and how long?
okay. I'm offering a 3-month program
Mhm.
for women who are ready to.
Now, time out. What kind of
Okay.
woman? We need to be specific, not vague. What type
Okay.
of woman?
All right. Women over 40
That's
who
better.
have been taught to um, who have been taught to save themselves for marriage
Mm-hmm.
and who are in relationships that in which they do not feel authentically, they don't feel authentic or able to really be the fullness of who they are as women.
Okay.
And doing what? Is that the
That's your vehicle, your platform, your program.
okay? So that's different than what I'm offering as a 3-month program. So what I'm offering is an opportunity for women to really reconnect to themselves, to rise, roar, and reign, to really reclaim their power, their sexuality, and their leadership.
Okay.
And then there's the women doing what through my 3-month program of rise, roar, and reign.
Okay.
And within many of my clients within the first session of our time together have experienced transformational, life-changing shifts.
Okay, beautiful, beautiful. Janaki, you want to share yours?
Yes. Now, as far as this is for the one-on-one, right? This is not for the this
Your
is
main
more
offer.
one-on-one
Your main
clients.
offer.
Okay. Well, because I have the Prosperous portal that I've been working on too. So that's why
Imagine I
'cause that's
didn't know
more the
you
group.
and I said, hey, Janaki, what do you do?
I support the hold on.
No worries, no worries.
I just came back from climbing up the mountain. My body's sore. I support the only thing is I don't, as far as men or women, I do both. I work with both men and women. So that's where I'm kind of getting a little, it's not just men or women. You know what I mean?
So this is beyond the scope.
Heart-led leaders. Yeah,
Okay.
that's what okay. I support heart-led leaders who have been hiding behind the persona of the mask, who they think others want them to be, and they're now ready to show up powerfully for who they're meant to be and be their full authentic expression of who they are, and by embracing their full whole soul, both their shadow and light, turning their traumas into treasures, or hold on.
I want
Their
you to
wounds into wisdom.
summarize. I want you to summarize all of that in one short, sweet sentence. That's your homework.
Okay, I was going to say that's been the challenge part,
Yeah.
is trying to get it simple.
Yeah.
And I will say, well, this is, I'll share it afterwards. But it was really cool opportunity that has come up because, yeah. So
Okay.
Okay, so you said shorten it to one sentence.
Yes. Or even just forget
Okay.
about sharing your statement. Just answer those 4 questions on the screen. What is it you're offering? For who? Doing what? And how long? Step by step.
Okay. I offer inner child work. I can say it like that. I offer inner child work, supporting to turn your wounds into wisdom and triggers into treasures. And it's for who is for those who are ready to be their full soul expression.
Okay.
Doing what? I have a Rise of the Sovereign Phoenix, where you allow your old self to die and your new self to fully rise by embracing your whole full soul. And it takes same with a lot of people will see results the first session, although I have an 8-week program that allows you to dive deep into each layer.
Okay. Awesome. Awesome. You have a good foundation. We just need to shorten it in one sweet sentence.
Yeah.
That's what we're going to be doing.
Okay.
And that's going to be your homework as well. All right. Thank you. Let's move on. Again, clarity, 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 because clarity is the name of the game. The more clarity you have in your messaging and your offer, the more your message will be magnetic, the more your offer will be compelling, your program will be transformational. Ultimately, your business will be profitable. There's no way around it. Clarity, clarity, clarity. And this is for all of us, and all of us in here, because all of us, myself included, we can still enhance our offer. Because what I heard so far is a good place to start, but it's way too long, way too confusing. Because if I was one of your prospects, I would say, wait a second. You would have lost me after 10 seconds. I would say, okay, thank you. I would pretend to listen and say, just wait for you to finish. And I think it was nice. You want to be very specific in a way that your message speaks directly to the heart of the person. And the best person to help is, again, the version of you of just a few steps ago when you were at your lowest. What did you wish Janaki, Lorna, Rosemary, Angela, Eleonora, what did you wish was there when you were at your lowest? Who did you wish was there when you were at your lowest? You simply build a program, you offer everything you do for that person, not men, not women. You need to be as specific as possible, because if you're trying to help people, you're not helping anyone. As simple as that. Does that make sense?
Yes.
All right, cool. Thank you. Awesome. Let's move forward. So here are some examples of previous students' measurable, quantifiable offer end result offers. Launch your profitable podcast in 3 weeks. That was my very first offer, so to speak. And then monetize your podcast 30 days after launch. And then find your first paying client in as little as 30 days through LinkedIn or Facebook. Lose 10 pounds in as little as 30 days with only one exercise in 10 minutes a day. And the last one is a business I was involved in myself. Find, source, select, and launch your first product on Amazon in as little as 90 days. So I want you guys to take a look at these, and I will share more with you guys. Not to copy, but to inspire you, and then you can craft yours around in the same vein. Here's the formula for crafting your Godfather Irresistible Offer. There's 2 versions. The first version is you emphasize on the outcome, on the desired dream outcome. And the second one is you emphasize on the pain that they're avoiding. When do you know which one to use? Very simple. If you have already an existing successful business, successful offer with tons of social proof, tons of testimonials, then you emphasize on the dream outcome, which is the first statement. If it's a brand new offer, a brand new business, and you don't have any testimonial and social proof, then you focus on this. You use the second formula, which is based on helping them avoid the pain. Because just like Tony Robbins said, the 2 driving force in life are the twin towers of pain and pleasure. People will spend more time, money, and effort to avoid pain than going towards pleasure. So with these 2 in mind, this is how you craft yours. So raise your hand if you already have an existing offer that is successful and you have lots of social proof and testimonials.
Yes.
Okay, so in this case, you would use the first version. I help client avatar solve problem with proven solution and time period guaranteed. If it's a brand new offer or brand new business, then you focus on the second one, which is helping them avoid a pain. And once you have enough testimonials, then you upgrade, so to speak, to the first version, to the one where you emphasize on the dream outcome. Clear? Awesome. Let's move on. Here's some more examples, real life examples of irresistible Godfather offers from previous students. I help female executives over 40 years old experience greater health, reverse diabetes without drugs and expensive medical bills in as little as 60 days. I help male entrepreneurs in the 40s and 50s get their first paying client in as little as 30 days using the power of Facebook groups. I help busy moms in the 30s lose 1 dress size in as little as 30 days without going to the gym and only 1 5-minute exercise per day. That's a fantastic offer. That's an offer to make you a billionaire. Seriously, if you can have an offer like that. Imagine the number of women would just line up for that. I help single dads find, select, source, and launch their first product on Amazon in as little as 90 days. Here's another one. I help introverted entrepreneurs gain unshakable confidence and land a TEDx talk without any presentation experience in as little as 30 days. These are wonderful, irresistible offers. So I want you guys to get inspired by these so that you can create and craft your offer in the same way using one of these 2 formulas. If you already have the testimonials and social proof, emphasize on the dream outcome. If you don't yet, focus on helping them avoid the pain. As simple as that. My offer, for example, here's the 2 versions of my offer. Initially, it was, well, not initially. Earlier this year, it was I help authors, coaches, and speakers with a tiny or no audience at all launch their profitable podcast/YouTube channel to get leads on demand and clients organically in as little as 60 days. Then it evolved into I help authors, coaches, and speakers get their first or next client through their very own profitable podcast, YouTube channel, even if you have no audience to start with, in as little as 60 days. See how clear that is? you call out the people you're helping, doing what, and how long. Sorry, you call out the people that you're helping with what pain point, doing what, and how long. Very simple. If you can, I want you guys to really work on this tonight, tomorrow, this week, to really hone in on your messaging, because that's going to be what's going to really get you going. The headline is what 95% of people only read the headline or your statement. Get that right, and they will be reading more of what you have to say, listening to more of what you have to say, and then will be much more open to what you're offering. Here's another thing. Focus your time on the highest task for your business, the one that's going to generate the most revenue, and that is offer creation, because offer creation literally is wealth creation. The more offers you create, the more money you will make. As simple as that. So spend your time as much as you can on that, because again, the more offer you make, the more people you talk to, that's where you make the more money. Speaking of that, I saw a quote the other day. Sorry, I was actually listening to a podcast. I said, our mothers taught us not to speak to strangers. However, in business, you need to talk to strangers. The more hands you shake, the more money you make. As simple as that. And that really stood out to me. So now, to create your irresistible offer, again, your offer must have these quantifiable, measurable end result. Again, who are you helping? What pain point? Doing what? And the time frame. And here's a little technicality tip for you. Don't say within 30 days or in 30 days, because you're exposing yourself to legal liabilities. Instead, use "and as little as." So this way, because you cannot control, yes, your program works, your method works, but you have no control of how the person is how committed they are, how much they will follow through. So to protect yourself, you say "and as little as," not in 30 days, not within. Because if you say so in 30 days, the person doesn't have any result, they can come back and bite you in the ass. Instead, if you say "in as little as," then you protect it. Make sense? Awesome. So that's it for today. And if you haven't done so, book a call with me to brainstorm on how we can implement the same for your business for next week. Especially this is for Eleonora, Sandra, you guys as well, Janaki, Lorna, Rosemary, would love to help you as well. Of course, my door's always open for you guys. And sneak peek into tomorrow's content. Tomorrow's going to be all about tech. We're going to be looking at what kind of microphone, accessories, software, recording, editing, creating your social media assets, your thumbnails, and all that good stuff. So that's the menu for tomorrow. Any questions about what I covered so far?
What time is it tomorrow?
Tomorrow is going to be 8 p.m. Eastern, which is 7 p.m. your time.
Okay, I'll do my best. I'm traveling back tomorrow, so
Okay.
I'll
Safe
see what I
flight.
can do.
I want to catch up with you next week because I want to hear all about the retreat. I'm excited. So book a time for next week, Janaki, okay?
Okay, yes.
Lorna, any questions?
No, thank you though.
Very welcome.
And safe travels. Yeah, safe travels for both you and Janaki.
Thank you.
Travels.
So I take it was clear as mud?
It was clear. It was really great.
I'm
Lots
joking.
of the mud settled. Lots of the mud
Okay.
settled. It was great.
Good.
Thank you.
Awesome.
bet.
Well, in that case, have a fantabulous rest of the evening, ladies, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. For you, Lorna, it's going to be 5 p.m. your time, and for Janaki, it's going to be 7 p.m. your time. And for the rest of you ladies that are on the East Coast, 8 p.m.
Okay, excellent. Thank
See
you
you guys.
so much.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Okay.